And welcome back. We're picking where we left off last time, Victoria 3 in patch 1.9.5, where hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, we'll get recognition in this part. We've got about half of the recognition. Definitely went for a lot less of an aggressive war versus Russia than I've done in the past. Though we were able to get the entire Russian seaboard. And we are earning recognition, so we're just going a little bit slower than we would otherwise. Let's see. Yeah, so we can get this military access. We'll agree to the military access. That goes into force. Does not allow us to pre-position troops. No. So the question here is, are we going to be able to generate a front with the Spanish? And really, there's only one way to find out. That's to start a war. I suppose from a war starting standpoint, do we want the Canary Islands? I suppose we might as well try taking the Canary Islands. The Canary Islands are less likely, I think, to be defended. So we may be able to land them even if we're not able to get into their core area. Where the... Granted, it's all in Iberia, so they might still be in the same military zone. We'll see. Okay, so let's go for the Canary Islands, and then we'll work from there. So they're fearful. I don't think we're going to be able to put military landing yet, because we're not officially at war with them yet. We, in theory, can sway the French in. It is, in fact, saying that there is something the French would accept to be swayed in. So we'll, before we put more things on, we'll see what the French want. What do the French want? Sway with war goals, force treaty article. They want investment rights on the Spanish. And I'm on board with them. I believe this will apply infamy to the French and not to us. Yeah. Okay, now we got a front. So we're really working this. So we'll send some troops to go help the French. And the more we apply here, the more we're gonna get, I believe. And this is enforce a war goal and a major or above. Spain is a major. In fact, I think Spain. I think it needs to be a recognized major. Might not be need to be a recognized major. Maybe we could do something against the Japanese, but I think it's just a major or a recognized major. So Spain is a good target. Actually, the Netherlands might be an interesting target. After the Dutch next, maybe if this isn't enough. What else do we want to enforce on Spanish while we're here? The Belleraires. Joy. I think it's Asturias has their gold mines. Oh, do I not have any, or did the gold mines get moved someplace else? Maybe we don't have any gold yet? Assumed I have some gold. Got a gold rush after all. Yeah, so that's one of the places that has gold, is Asturias. How much aggressive sandstone would we get from taking Asturias? Or we've not even able to ask for that. Oh, we are. So just short of 20. So if the war's a short war, we'd take extra reactionaries, extra radicals from it. Sure, we'll try for that. And I think most of the enforced treaty articles also apply some infamy, yeah. Wait, I don't want to generate too much infamy. As much as I want to spend maneuvers here, we don't want to pick up too much infamy. Oop, we pissed the Americans off. Okay, the Americans are now belligerent. Why? Because they decided they want treaty ports on us. They're gonna buy our infamy, want some stuff, okay. Stop damaging relations. Free relations with the Americans? Maybe we can calm the Americans down. Oh, they're damaging relations, which is not what we want, because now we're in a tug of war trying to keep it at 0. Okay, so that's sadly slowed us down, because that was one of our +1s on the earning recognition here. Oops, we've run out of things to build. We could use a little bit more government admin. Go with something like that. Mechanical tools will be done in 8 months, so it's still a little early, I think, for the steel. Yeah, they're like 3 months out. We want 8 for the delay there, so we want to kick those to the bottom, and then we want to build something else while we're waiting. Oh, we could definitely go ahead and build more coal. Still quite a bit of local demand being met by trade, and ideally we actually want the traders to trade something that we can't make. Okay, put the coal on, and then kick the steel to the bottom. See where that leaves us. Oh, and we should set our newly arrived army on attack. So, otherwise we're not going to win the war. One can imagine. Looks like we're going to have a naval battle. Our fleet's actually bigger than theirs, so I'm not too surprised that we could probably win that naval engagement. So we're not going to worry too much about the fact that we're having a naval engagement, or should have a naval engagement. Probably don't have enough time to get involved in this. And there's a decent likelihood even if we got involved in this wouldn't help with carrying recognition. Because I think there's a decent possibility the Russian rebels here would lose, and then obviously when in advance, if we're not there, not applying anything. I suppose how's coming industrialist stuff. Another 1.4. Still a little while there. The industrialists are the only people that support schooling. So one way we can improve the rate we get recognition is to get our schooling up. That's probably the easiest of the negatives we can turn into a positive. Okay, we either got to conquer the Canary Islands or we got to get the Spanish capital. I think we're moving in on the capital this rate because the naval flight's taking a little too long. Nope, we've run out of things to build. Probably do want more coal, but we're gonna hold off on that. Could do food. That wouldn't be too bad of a choice, I think. Yeah, let's do some groceries. And I think we're at the point where we are going to let the steel complete. Yeah. So we can set it up for the tools. Getting pretty close with the tools, and we're going to go over the atmospheric engines. So maybe I don't need more coal or iron right now. Oh, we're still importing clippers. Let's build 2 more shipyards. And where do I have my road maintenance? Because I probably want to put it on the place where I have road maintenance. Western Eastern Guangdong. Okay. So put the 2 shipyards in those locations. Oh, I still need more to build. Which is a good thing. In a way, having to build more. Probably coal, so we're not importing it. Like another 4 coal mines. Oh, we can build the Lufang and Northern Jilin gold mines. The Northern Jilin gold mine, let's go ahead and subsidize that once it's built. Okay, and the Spanish are losing. In fact, they're willing to negotiate their peace now, so we'll accept that. There we go! Recognition! The Qing French Treaty of Commerce and Navigation. Great Qing becomes recognized. Qing relations towards France improves by 30. Positive event catalyst is triggered with France. It's fine. So I'm going to delay clicking that for a moment. We're going to go ahead and make our power block. Because when we click this, we're going to get 30 opinion. When we make our power block, we're going to take a malice hit with everyone. So in the case of France, we want to kind of mitigate that by doing both at the same time. Oh, I need political power back. Okay, never mind. Oh no, we can take this back for a moment. Stop improving there. That's 50. Form the power block. Vassalization. So we're going to go for Sovereign Empire. The Supreme Alliance is what we'll go with today. So we take the minus 60 with all the people who have groups, and then we'll do this one, the plus 30 with France. And France is still cordial after that, so that's good to see. They're only cordial, so we may actually want to improve them a little bit. There we go. So we are recognized. I forgot to show. This is something I was going to remember to show and then forgot to show. When we were not recognized, we come over to assets, interest. So right now we got an interest at 7.8 now that we're recognized. We come down into the multiplicative here. You'll notice the great power is minus 50%. Well, being an unrecognized major power, which is what we were before we got recognized, is plus 50%. So by being a great power, our interest rate is reduced. In this case, we also got the PD buzzer reduced from about 16, to about 7.8. When we were a unrecognized great power, it was like 24. So we've just like reduced the interest by like a third, or reduced it to a third. So we're now much more willing to accept having debt, which does let us be a little bit more aggressive in just building. So it's because we were a little bit slower than I have been in the past. We are the second most prestigious nation instead of the first, because the British are more prestigious than us. Though we could build up our navy. It's pretty easy for us to wrestle back first place, I think. And of course, the Americans don't like us now that we're a superpower, as the Americans do. Okay, we're going to get mechanical tools. Being a recognized power was also affecting our tech spread. I didn't show that off. But it was one of the modifiers on here. We still have the Canton system that's slowing us down. We still have censorship. But the big one was being unrecognized. That one's gone now, so we'll start spreading stuff a little bit faster. When we were spreading mechanical tools, interesting. So it's empiricism moving, yeah. Oh, surprised it's going to Napoleonic Warfare next. We might upgrade the cavalry to lancers then. But yeah, so now we are recognized. As soon as our infamy is under control, we're going to start expanding. Much like before, we want to press west, get a land border with Persia, get Persia to be our subject. We want to get Dayanam and Siam to be our subjects. We already know that Burma is a subject of GB. Which, if we build up our navy, might not be a problem. We might be able to take Burma with modernized army and navy. Siam, Dayanam. So this area, Indochina, is going to be the source of our rubber. Persia is going to, in the long run, be the source of our oil, so we do want to go west for oil. Okay, what else do I want to do now that I'm recognized? What has that changed process-wise? Oh, we have more states to state, I suppose. We got you, and you, and you. Let's start stating. At some point we may want to change tax laws. Interesting. So it is still a tax drop to go to per capita. Granted, we're on very high right now, so it's the very high difference kicking in there. So our income hasn't really improved that much. That's what we're going to be working on. It's improving the income, I think. Profitability of our industry in general. Broke the tree. Okay. So Austria just took an infamy hit. Oh, because they rival each other. That's what's going on there. For a treaty that was us giving them money. Okay, so both of them just... Oh, they're all breaking it. I don't know why. With us being recognized, we're giving them money for nothing. Yeah, it can be a bit different. They're a bit weird at times. Interesting. So they're contravening, so we don't need to pay them. Come revisit this. Why is that non-fulfilling? So they don't need to offer... Yeah, I don't know why that's... Can we renegotiate that treaty? Cannot remove offer embassy articles during negotiation. Can they not be renegotiated? Okay, that's fine, but we're trying to... Okay. We don't need that anymore. We'll let a couple weeks pass. Maybe some stuff will pass and remove itself from some of these treaties. We're getting embargoed by Austria. Okay, that's annoying, but we can deal with that. And I'm going to be nice here. We're never going to want the radicals from keeping them at the mine, so we'll always let them go. Grab atmospheric engine. So you're no longer binding. We might, in theory, still want military assistance. But I guess this is just a treaty we need to pull out of and renegotiate at this point. Technically, this top one is no longer binding. I don't know how withdrawal works with the treaty ports. Do we get the treaty port back? And do I want to renegotiate the treaty, I suppose? So now they're really on board, now that we're recognized with being a defensive pact. Could we upswing that to an alliance? We could. So if we wanted to be bringing the French around to do stuff, we could do that. And that one's still binding. We'll wait until that one's no longer binding before we remove that one. And so it's probably best to find out by renegotiating this one down. Swap it down from 86 years to 5. This will allow us to pull it out 5 years early. Let's do that. If they accept that change. Okay. So, steel's starting to come online, so let's swap the tool factories over. Okay, that looks like that'll work there with the tools nicely. I think I'm going to want to do the paper next. So it's 10 times 60, so we need about 600 paper. Or 600 sulfur for the paper. Believe for the sulfur mines, atmospheric engines 40. So we want about 15 sulfur mines. Yeah, I'm gonna... Or do I hold off until we get railroads? Might hold off until we get railroads. Yeah. So what do we do while we're waiting for the railroads to come around? Probably build coal by the looks of it, actually. Yeah, we'll run it up a little bit worse in Shaanxi while we're waiting for it. Or do I put it where we have... Highest earnings, which is actually Beijing. Grab a couple in Beijing. Oops, put one Shang-Chi anyway. Okay. Put another one in Beijing. And then port-wise, looks like we want 2 more ports in Beijing. And another one High Bay. Another one High Bay. And then maybe build up some surface infrastructure along the coastline here. Okay, let's see if that works. Gives us something at least to work on while we're trying to tech into railroads. I suppose we have been rivaled by both of them, haven't we? If we've been rivaled them, we could just rival them back. Yeah. That way we have more diplomacy. Or more diplo power. Or influence power. An extra influence power specifically applies infamy decay, so we get the infamy applying a little bit quicker. We still have that lobby demand for the embargo, so let's go ahead and play that embargo. That clears that. And then in a year we can remove the embargo and get our influence back. Yeah, we're really, really interested in the atmospheric engines. That'll help a lot with the iron and coal. Napoleonic warfare. I'll go ahead and we'll apply that to the cav. I think what that's mainly doing is... Well, they were on dragoons, right? So 1 grain, 2 small arms, 2 iron, 2 grain, 2 small arms. Gaining some attack, losing some defense. A little bit of a wash around all around, but a little bit more prestigious of troops as well, I think. Gold mines we can set up. That's interesting. Let's get those set up then. And I see we built a gold mine in Lafang, but then they never hired up and it shrunk again, and it's fine. We want them to use their gold mine, but we can't make them use their gold mine, if that makes sense. I suppose I should subsidize the mines so that they are ready for the swap to atmospheric engines in a moment. There we go, there's atmospheric engines. So we're going to do railways next, and we're going to try to trigger the journal entry. Or it's just going to auto-trigger. I think there's a glitch where it's not waiting for you to turn on atmospheric engines. Like it's not properly checking for atmospheric engines, but okay. So we're going to go ahead, obviously we're going to take the progress towards railways, and we are going to swap everything over to atmospheric engines from a mine standpoint. Concordant between the Holy See and the Great Qing. Great Qing transfers them furniture. They host a power block embassy. Okay. Let's see. you want to negotiate this? Or do I just give them... Yeah, that's fine. We'll accept that. It's not quite what I want, but I wasn't expecting to do anything with the Holy See anyway, so... Something is better than nothing, I suppose. Do we have... I don't think we do. Interest in the zone, no. We can put an interest in Italy. We're actually not recognized, so I should throw out some interests for where we want to be. So we want to be in Indochina, we want to be in Persia, we want to probably poke the Japanese some. Initially. Well, let's kick in, and then we might do some negotiations. Okay, interest kicked in. So we're now going to start getting some leverage on the Pope, I think. Yeah, we got minus 327. This should be ticking up. It's estimating we're going to tick up to 277. Interesting. No, that's the Russians. Looking at the Russians. We're the Supreme Alliance, we're these guys. Okay, so they're going up to that number. We're going up to 94. So what else would we want to do to the Pope? Or do for the Pope? You're kind of ambivalent on investment rights. Though they're ambivalent on it, and they'll still... Oh, they're on board with us doing stuff for them. Okay. So that'll just give us investment rights. Maybe trade privileges as well? Yeah. Sure, I don't see why not. Worst case scenario, it means some of our people go build in the Pope's territory. Capitalists might build there instead of build at home. And that means the other places are applied. What do we want to do to the Japanese? Do with the Japanese? Maybe nothing for the moment. Because they're not going to come around to negotiate with anything. And yeah, I think we need to conquer these guys. Maybe it comes down to, do we want to do something with those guys? Travel Embassy, investment rights. And guarantee their independence? Oh, I don't even need to guarantee their independence. I can just ask for those things and they'll give it to me. Sure. So if we get enough influence on them, leverage-wise, we can potentially just make these guys part of our country without having to fight them, which is always fun. Do a promotion. Yeah. Oh, and we should... I just remember I should make the sulfur. Well, and probably the glass. So we're going to want 600 sulfur. Oh, I was waiting until we had the railroads. We'll have railroads in 13 months. Okay. Yeah, that works. Wait the 13 months, build the railroads, and then after the railroads, we'll start really industrializing. Because we'll have the railroads to do Shaanxi. And we'll build Shaanxi basically vertical for a while. So our subsidies are one of our bigger expenses. What are we subsidizing? The arms? Okay, so if we go to war, that goes down. The ports, that makes sense. Because right now the ports are maybe not having the best of days trying to sell Merchant Marine. Merchant Marine are cheap enough we're actually trying to export it. The Clippers aren't particularly cheap. Like, where are the Clippers? There's the Clippers. Yeah, the Clippers aren't particularly cheap. They aren't particularly expensive either, but... They want us to embargo the Ottoman Empire. What's their status with the Ottoman Empire right now? They're antagonistic to us. Hostile pariah. They did suffer the Second Man of Europe, so they're vulnerable to us doing stuff to them. Ouch. Had their leader assassinated, dealing with corruption, working against the system, lots of stuff going wrong. We got a 1-year-old in charge of the country. Yeah, I think we might embargo them for the happiness of the faction. Okay, they're conciliatory here. Let's go ahead and end this embargo. Yeah, it'll piss the faction off a bit, but we don't need the faction to super like us. Is a mistaken enemy in geopolitical affairs and are likely to try to patch up relations. That sounds good. Oh, I'd like to sway into this, but both sides say those. Neither side once is involved. I suppose that means it's maybe a good time to poke them ourselves. Though I don't have any... don't have any interest in the region, do I? No. Because one thing we probably do want to do is we want to get Basar off of them. Want to get this section, Mesopotamia sort of area, off of them. I think in game it's called Iraq. Get Iraq free from them. Okay, railways are like 5 months out. That means it's maybe a little early for engines. But we'll go ahead and grab our engine maker. Subsidized at the top of the queue. Or actually, maybe not. 20, well, maybe we're not actually building the motor industries too quickly. But yeah, we're gonna get the railways involved, and then in the next one, we're gonna just be expanding the economy real fast. At some point in there, we'll probably want to do a law change. Get off of taxes, or land base, and onto, like, per capita. As that income tax starts to become a real big payout. Versus not having an income tax. So we've maxed out relations with the French. We're trying to improve relations with the Americans. They've actually sort of calmed down a little bit. Most of the great powers don't like us, which isn't necessarily a good day. How goes getting leverage over you? 133 expected to rise another 140. Okay, so we should be able to bring you into the political sphere of our power block. Start expanding a little bit westward to prevent the Russians from coming down into Persia. There's railways. Ooh, that offers an interesting question. What do I go for next? Thinking currency standards would give us access to taxation. Some more minting down there. Yeah, I think we're going to do some society tax. And then we'll go back over to production once that's done. Well, so it depends on the spreading goes. Where do I need... oh, public health is behind pharmaceuticals. So yeah, we probably do want to get into level tier 2 sociology or society tax quickly. So we get things like pharmaceuticals. Still get the income tax law, banking, medical degrees, maybe pharmaceuticals? Okay, at least we have public schools, if we ever get the industrialists powerful enough. It is something we're working on. It's one of the reasons why we're trying to... everything we're building, we're trying to privatize. Everything the government owns needs to be privatized. So that there's stuff for the capitalists to own. Oh, and with the motor industries being built, that will support 8 railways. So we should start building those railways in the places that need them. Domestically, we're not going to build it in our subjects. So we're not going to bother with Beijing. We will put 1 in southern Anhui. And we need at least 2 in Shaanxi. And honestly, we probably want the rest of them in Shaanxi, because we're going to build real vertical there. Okay, 95% construction efficiency. No, that's getting ticked to the bottom. 72 is getting ticked to the bottom. That's no. Gold mines. 32 is a little bit bad. No, okay, close the check. Okay, build the railways. Build the railways. We'll come back to those places. There's just a little bit of turmoil there. We can definitely solve that by doing stuff. One of the things we can do... I was about to say is we can subsidize some of the buildings, and then I go to find they have absolutely no buildings to subsidize. Yeah. Yeah, at least this one has some buildings to subsidize. Granted, this one has, like, no one employed, doesn't it? Yeah. That one's probably also the one that's not having... Oh, no, 66.7% turmoil? Weird. Yeah, it's just the ports and the manor house. And the manor house basically owns the subsistence farm there, so... The port's full. Ah, okay, that's what I didn't see. Didn't realize the Russians weren't running cargo ports in their places. So we'll swap everything over to cargo ports. That will put some more jobs there. Which will probably hire everyone that's left in the state in that case. That may help a little bit with turmoil by giving everyone secure jobs. Okay, the engine makers are done. So as soon as the railways are done, the engine maker will really take off. Okay, subsidized. We should be up and roaring and ready to go. What's our tools looking like? Don't have a lot of surplus tools the way we would do the livestock one. Construction sectors is something we want to upgrade. Not right away. Oh, those railways want to be on wooden cars? Yeah. Yeah, coal and iron. Lots of coal and iron. And probably want some tools too. So, say 600 for a start, so that's like 15 coal mines. Is your engine really only 40? Yep, only 40. Okay. Got 300 there, so it's gonna be like 7 iron mines. And we need some tool makers. Support all that, so another 5 tool makers. We're just gonna want like 2 steel mills to support that. Oops. Okay. And then we want to push these back to the top. There we go. Okay, something I just built. For a while we shot up to like 150 positive balance. That's interesting. Yeah, we see the infrastructure rising here rapidly, so it'll soon be positive. And, oh, we do want these subsidized. Subsidize, privatize. Same in here, we'll come over to this menu. Subsidize, privatize. Welcome to the power block. And welcome to the power block. Wait, did you literally join the power block and leave the power block? Oh no, it got removed because they have to not be in the... Yeah, okay. A little bit confusing there. There's still no power block. That's just... Yeah, no, we'll fire him. Armed Force General and promote him. Get another Armed Force General here. And again, if we can get the Armed Forces powerful, that will double the military good cost modifier here, which is pretty strong. Oh, the other place where we were moving to maybe make a power block was Papal States. You on board yet? No, not quite. Let's start improving relations with them. What else can I get to get the Pope on side? I think we're already done all this stuff, actually. I think the Pope's just contested territory, to be fair, when it comes to the leverage. Yeah, they're just really contested territory. At least we're keeping other people out. I suppose in a way that's not surprising, it is the Pope. Can I support swapping stuff over to steel? Or not steel, over to iron. 2277. Yeah, we need more than that to do a swap, because that's one of the problems with going all the way up to 15, is that we have to swap over 15 at a time. And 15 times 50 is a lot of iron. It's about 700 iron. Once we've got the iron mines built, which we're queuing up, we'll be able to swap one of them over, and then we'll build more iron, and then we'll swap another one over and build more iron, and that's going to be the process. Okay, I think... Oh, those are the per capita ones. So we could now actually try to swing into per capita, which would be a revenue down, even on very high taxes. So we're not in a rush to do that. As income taxes rise and land taxes fall, we'll be more interested in that, but we're not quite there yet. Look at the banking for the minting. I may not worry about medical degrees for a while. Instead, move over to production after banking. Maybe push down to mechanized tools. Economy of scale, or probably actually go to nitroglycerin and get explosives going. Okay, I think it's time to start working on expanding our sphere influence. Anyone gonna come to your help? Cambodia. Cambodia may come to your help. Okay, we're invading it. I don't think we need to call up the conscripts for this one. I think we can just invade them. It'll be fine. Bali wants to join the... Sure. In 5 years, you might regret that choice, but sure. Is anyone gonna help these guys? I give you guns, you give me a power block embassy. And it's only 10 guns. Sure. Contentious topics. Okay. We're at war, so we'll go ahead and do a naval invasion to speed this up a little bit. Oh, Russia's back on. They want to be our rival again. Well, I don't like you too, apparently. So we could go ahead and end this embargo. No penalty at this point. Do I want to attack? We might as well attack up top. Once the boats arrive, we will land in the south, and they'll sort of get caught in the pincer in the middle. Okay, there's the coal mines finishing up, moving on to the iron mines. Oh, no, they managed to garrison the south just in time. Still looks like we're winning down south, but they did actually send someone down there to stop us. Okay, and we made that extra coal, and we apparently just need more coal. The fires of industry demand more things to burn. Oh, good to see that the penalties for building those gold mines have gone away. Won't go rushing off to build the coal mines, then we'll get the gold mines going. Here we go. One new subject. Preparing the future source of our rubber. Oh, I need to lower opinions with them if we want to invade and annex them. It's only been 1 year since we've brought them into the power block, so we can't add those two people yet as protectorates. It'll be very tight, but I'm going to try it. Iron frame building, please. Yes, and what I was hoping would happen appears to maybe be happening, which is that the high price is allowing the trade centers to buy some. Let's drop the... oh no, not export. The import tariffs on iron and tools to 0. That way the trade centers will be a little bit more willing to buy those things. But I'm trying to... oh, it's the tool trade route again. That makes sense. I don't need the money right now because we need imports, I suppose. Well, or I could start moving towards lowering the taxes. Now we'll hold on to the high taxes for the next 9 years, I think. Before I forget, I need to go ahead and put a part break in here. So I hope you've been enjoying. If you've been watching on YouTube, this is the third part of what we've recorded. At this point, this is going to be a successful run. So even if they do patch, usually they put a beta patch up in for each of the patches, so I can always re-roll back to this one. So I think we will go ahead and play this one all the way out. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow. And there'll probably be any... Assuming things continue onward, there'll probably be parts up until we finish. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to put a short break in here, give myself a little bit of time to sip a little bit of tea, and take a little bit of a break between parts. But we are going to get back to streaming very shortly, a very short period of time. We're going to continue trying to grow this economy. This economy is growing real well. Well, the goals of the early portion of the run have been going real well. We've gotten through the Opium War without suffering an opium crisis. Just the cost of one treaty port for the French, which if the French are actually using it to trade with us, it would be a good thing. I don't even think they are, and we can see. Are the French actually using this treaty port as their treaty port? No. They just got a port there, which is a little bit disappointing. We'd actually like them to be trading with us, but they're not. I assume they probably can, but they're not. Same. But that was the whole cost of getting through the Opium War, was that and a short war with the British. We got recognized by fighting first Russia and then Spain. That got us recognition. Now we're in the phase of the game where, as we try to get the economy going, as we try to industrialize, we need to start collecting resources we need for late game. So that's rubber and oil. China has a great supply of coal, a great supply of iron, a great supply of sulfur, great supply of lead, great supply of people. But one thing it lacks is it doesn't really have any rubber, doesn't really have any oil. Well, it actually has more oil than it has rubber. Just by Chinese standards, it's not enough oil. So we're basically going to be slowly conquering the unrecognized nations in the neighborhood, or at least bringing them to the state where they'll be a subject. So as a general rule, if I need to get someone on the other side of them, then I'm likely to annex them. So we're going to go ahead and probably annex Kaduz here and Kabul. Maybe not all of Kabul, but just the bits right next to Kaduz, so we can get to Persia, because we want to get to Persia. Persia's got a lot of oil. We've subjected Dainam. In theory, we probably want them to be a puppet, so we can apply a subject to Siam. Siam's scary enough that I think we've got some time before they become a protectorate of the British, which would be what I'd be scared of. And at some point, we probably want to transfer Burma from the British, because those three are basically going to be our main source of rubber. The alternative is to get out into Brunei, the Brunei Island for more rubber as well. Persia's got a little oil. The Ottomans did suffer the sick man of Europe, so they should be fairly easy to maybe kick Iraq off of, and Iraq is another source of oil. So that's going to be what we're working on in the next one, is sort of slowly expanding our sphere of influence over Southeast Asia, Central Asia, to acquire the resources we need from mid-game. While getting the industrialization going. Our GDP has been going up, and in many ways it actually is going up faster than I would have expected it in earlier ones. It still isn't going up very fast. They did nerf the tax laws, so we don't have as much money to play around with in the grand scheme of things, though in the small scheme of things we have a little bit more because they've lowered a bunch of costs for government admin buildings and such. And some of the government buildings, things like ports, now generate some revenue that offsets the costs. So yeah, we're gonna move to try industrializing, try to get this GDP line up, and acquire the resources we need for mid-game. That's all gonna be the next part. So with that, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.